watching Minnesota's most watched station. This is WCCO 4 News.
Well, in just under 2 hours, the upper St. Anthony Falls Lock and Dam is going to be closed for good. It's an attempt to stop invasive carp from getting into Minnesota lakes.
But when it shuts down, so will barge traffic that hauls goods down the Mississippi River. So how are our goods shipped all over the country? Good question. And I know the Met Council, Heather Brown, said that this closing will mean more trucks on the road.
It will. A Met Council study said it will be about 20,000 more truck trips. Now, trucking is really what they call the backbone of the hauling system. Every mode has its own pluses and minuses, but trucking can really get most anything anywhere.
Barges have carried tons of sand, cement, salt.
One 15-ton barge can carry what would take 216 rail cars and 1,050 tractor trailers.
Traffic that now shifts to trucks.
Hold on for a second. We got one of your trucks coming by. John Hausladen is president of the Minnesota Trucking Association.
If you need something to move fast, it's going to go by truck. If you need something to move slower, it's going to go by rail or on the water.
If you look at just the value of goods, trucking dominates. 10 of the $13.5 trillion moved in 2012. It accounted for most of the weight, too.
Big companies like Target and Walmart may have some trucks for their own distribution system, but they're largely using for-hire carriers.
But trucks move much shorter distances, an average of 216 miles versus rail's 811, water's 842, and air's 1,229. What might go by air?
Air is going to be something that's light and very time sensitive. You might send a pacemaker.
Via water, the freight is mostly grains, gravel, coal, petroleum, chemicals, and fertilizers. Via rail, it's largely bulk shipments of coal, metallic ores, grains, and chemicals. And even if it goes the long haul by water, rail, or air, a truck is often involved.
68% of Minnesota communities have only truck transportation for everything that goes in and out. What most people don't realize is most everything spends some time on a truck. First mile, last mile.
Now, when it comes to fuel efficiency, the American Railroad Association says trains are 4 times more efficient than trucks. The Trucking Association says it's been using technology to improve fuel efficiency. And another little interesting tidbit that I learned today, UPS is the biggest trucking company in the United States. Yeah, they also use a whole lot of rail, too. But
Kind of makes sense.
absolutely, yep. Followed closely by FedEx.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting. Thanks, Heather.
If you have a good question for Heather, please email it by going to WCCO.com/links.
This Saturday is National